Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Friday morning. We've got a big show lined up. I'm going to give away some seafood. Got a fishing report coming. Got a live report coming. So all kind of good things will be happening in the next 30 minutes. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical. We're looking at a pretty day today. Yesterday was beautiful, and today's going to be the same way. High of only 60 and low of 46. Water temperature did drop a degree down to 63, but we've really had a couple of days of nice weather. It's been real pleasant. Weekend, might have a little bit of rain on Saturday, but other than that, it's going to be a little cool next week, and so it's wintertime, thankfully. River readings, Apalachicola at Bluntstown, 20 foot, 0.3, and falling. And Choctawhatchee, Caryville, 11.5. And the good news, both of them are falling out. Now, it will be a good weekend, when they're falling like this. It's going to be high, but it'll be a good weekend to go catfishing. Tide chart brought to us by Ken Forest Lawn. Today is Friday, January the 11th. We're getting close to some neap tides, not a lot of tidal flow. The low tide's at 9:01 this morning. High tide is at 11 o'clock tonight. A marine forecast will be coming out of the east at about 6. I was looking on the tide chart, and we got the weekend's going to be pretty sort of toward neap tides. Not a lot of movement there, especially with the wind coming out of the east and north. So you're not going to get a lot of tidal flow for your weekend fishing in the bay system. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, folks. And on the phone, we have Captain Kim from Sea Quarters Marina, and we're getting a first report we're getting from them since the storm. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Mr. Chester. I'm glad to be back up and running.
Well, we're just so good to hear. It's just good to hear your voice. I mean, that's why, just talking to you and all. So tell us sort of what happened and how y'all are doing.
Well, we're doing fine now. We finally got our fuel pumps up and running, and our docks are back to normal, and we're anxious to see a few of the last of the loopers come through from the Great Loop Association. And I've been doing a little fishing around the river. We lost a couple of the trout, I think, when we had all that rain a couple weeks ago, but they seem to be coming back in droves. So the trout and redfish are still biting out front and right here in the river, so you don't have to go out too far. Well, they've been hitting a lot of the the pearl white shrimp have been pretty popular for the river bite.
That sounds really good. Now listen, you got hit on the outer bands of the storm, but y'all still took some damage and all. The water get pretty high in there?
Yeah, we had it was up to my ankles in the shop. It came up pretty quick and pretty fast, but we had a little bit longer duration over here with all those outer bands, I think. So the debris and everything that was in the river kind of tore up our docks and fuel pumps and what have you. But we seem to be back up and running. Got plenty of bait and tackle and ice, and now thankfully fuel. It's working good.
Well, that's good to hear. And I know it'll get better. Every weekend is going to get a little bit better. Right,
exactly. It looks like we've had a couple real pretty days here this week. And it looks like it's going to get a little bit better next week, too. So it's good fishing weather.
Well, that's interesting. I know you got a lot of fresh water coming out of Tate's Hill and all, but it's sort of doing better now?
Yeah. It's running pretty good, but right at the mouth of the river is where they've been doing a lot of the trout and redfish, just out in the grass flats there.
Well, that's good to hear. So it's great to hear your voice, and glad everybody's doing okay down there. Tell Gary Beebe and all those folks we said hello, and good to hear from y'all.
I certainly will. I'll get a kick out of that, and glad to hear you guys are okay, too.
Okay.
Appreciate the call, Mr. Chester.
Thank you now. All right.
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Great to hear that. And now, that's a good fishing report now. And, like you said, it's sort of a periodical thing where they, that fresh water sort of pushed all those trout out of there. But now they're coming back in, and it's going to get, and like I said, it's going to get a little bit better every weekend and all. Let's go ahead and do this. We're at a point in time where it's 2019. We're going to add some names. We're going to add the new names. In fact, see all these names right here? I'm going to dump them all out. Look here, all these are the losers. If you didn't get, I'm sorry they all didn't win anything, okay? But hopefully, but at the same time, I want you to look at this right here. What happened? I got another one. All right, we got to get all, okay, we're all empty now. All right, now, we're going to have to get clean up people in here. You see this stack right here? I kept this stack. All these folks won. These are all the winners from 2018. Look at all that. So that's a lot of winners. Okay, I'm gonna put them right here. So now we're gonna start adding. Here's the names been sitting in the last couple of weeks, and we're gonna start adding them right now because we're gonna draw today. It's gonna take a few minutes, but I want you to hear your name called out, and in no particular order. Well, it is gonna be because Nat Harris was the first one to send a name in on December the 15th. He sent a name in, so Nat, you're the first one in the bucket. And his sweet wife, Debbie Harris from Panama City Beach. Great viewers over there. Margaret Clemens, Bluntstown. Don Clemens, Bluntstown. Marilyn McGeechee, Clarksville. David McGeechee, Clarksville. Jay Atkins, Panama City Beach. Charlene Sowell, West Bay. Sammy Sowell, West Bay. Ethan Roberson, Chattahoochee. We got them scattered. We got viewers all over the place. Joanne Maxwell, Chattahoochee, and Ned Maxwell. They won last year. Ned won last year and donated to some other people. Ned, that was the kind thing to do. Hunter Regadio, the Regadio family, my neighbors up there in Southport, Joe Regadio and Ernie. Good folks right there. Love to fish. Joe Ivy, Sandy Creek. Joe, good to hear from you. Good to hear from all y'all. Nita Ivy, Sandy Creek. Randy Isaacson, loyal viewer. I get a lot of feedback from you guys. Sue Hahn, Southport. Stephen Hahn, Southport. I'm proud of my Southport neighbors. We fighting a struggle up there trying to get all that stuff picked up. Ronald Hahn, Southport. Josh Turner, Jared Turner, the Turner family, Stephanie, and Edward. Okay, also Allison Martin. And if I don't call out your name, I guess you're from Panama City. Don't call a location. David Gilmore and Margie Gilmore. Adam Taylor, Panama City Beach. Margaret Taylor, Panama City Beach. Greg Taylor, Panama City Beach. Anna Gagne up at Lynn Haven, been with us for a long time. Ted Gagne up in Lynn Haven. Phyllis Brookins, Lynn Haven. And Steve Brookins, Lynn Haven. Tracy Neighbors, Youngstown. Rayford Neighbors, Youngstown. Lynn Richards, my neighbors in Southport. Terry Richards, love to fish, but having to clean up now. Jeff Todd, Boaz, Alabama. Jeff, thanks for that message the other day on that tree. Greg Frady, Alford. Betty McAreeth, Panama City Beach. Candy McAreeth, Randy McAreeth, big Alabama fan. James Demir, Niceville. The Niceville folks over there are good about watching. Willahima Swearingen and Edsel Swearingen, good viewers there. And Bill Barfield. All right, that's a start. That's a good start right there. So here we are. So send your names in, we'll get them in and get things going. We've got to clean up this mess, so we'll be right back. Okay, really enjoyed having our guest on yesterday, the Florida Forestry Service. Mike and Andy did a good job. Having questions, touch base with them or call me and I'll help you get a hold of them. So let's catch up with our pictures. We didn't get a show a lot yesterday. The original play station, the creek. A lot of us can identify with that. We spent a lot of idle hours and just playing around the creeks. Well, everybody had a favorite creek, and I still remember mine, and that's important. Okay, right here, we're talking about getting gasoline in the water. I'm going to show you a better example. When these cranes and all had to pick up all these boats and everything, pick them up out of the water, well, you can see everything just draining out of them. And even if the fuel has not spilled, a lot of it is inside the hull. As they pick them up, it pours outside the hull. And here's some of the divers, and trying to connect the ropes and all. But you see that sheen on the water? That's the gasoline. And just multiply this on a daily basis all over in 3 or 4 different areas here in the Panhandle where they're just having to haul these boats out, and it's just a tough situation. It's not a healthy situation at all. So, let's see. Okay, let's go back. All right, now I'm going to skip down to some others. This was interesting. There was once a dock in the 1800s on the Apalachicola side of Dog Island, just right across from Seaquarters Marina, right there. It was lost in the hurricane of 1899. Michael uncovered this in the remnants of what is believed to be the Norwegian ships, John Har and Valet. Pretty cool to see it, 120-year-old ship. So they actually took a picture in 1899. I don't know how somebody was down there to do that. At Dog Island, 1899, they were sort of high and dry, from the storm we just, and you can understand just the storm we just had. And then here's what Michael uncovered. Now, isn't this cool? This is an actual dock, and you're going to see some remnants. All right, there's some of the dock out there. None of that was exposed till Michael tore through here. And on the backside of Dog Island, look, here's some of the 120-year-old ship. And look at the old timber and all. Is that not cool? I just got excited looking at it. And can you imagine the amount of time it took to build? Look at these. Look at that old timber. Still, that timber's, you know, probably 130 years old. They built it years before. And then look at the ribs coming off the side. Still in decent shape. You don't want to know how they treated that stuff. And here's one more picture of it, of the dock and all along Dog Island. So that just tickled me to see all of that done, and I want to share that with you. I know it's way ahead, but it's going to be a special Arbor Day this year because a lot of us are going to be planting trees on this. It's going to be April 26, 2019, National Arbor Day. So we'll have that. I remind you, I know it's way ahead of time and all. The state forest, in conjunction with what we were talking about yesterday, looking at our state forest, really and truly, the dark green is our state forest. Now, looking at it last night, you would think we'd have more, but really it's just scattered throughout the state. Of course, in our district here, in the lower right-hand corner, you of course know the number 31 is the Apalachicola National Forest. And then Blackwater, way on the top left-hand side, number 3 is Blackwater. And then you have Pine Log over here. And there's not a lot of state forest in Lake Talquin, number 16, Lake Talquin. So just wanted to be sure. But now it says we have over 1 million acres in 37 forests. So that's good to have that. And sent to me by my good friend Larry Brown, okay? Gas prices in surrounding area. I've been traveling this week, and this is what I see in gas prices. And you see them right there. I'm not going to read them out to you, but look at those prices. And we're like at 240, 242. And that's just, again, that's ridiculous, and I tell you what goes along with it too. The guys working on doing my drywall, they normally they get drywall for $12 a sheet, and they're going down to Home Depot. It's $20 a sheet. It's $20 a sheet all over. And again, that's just price gouging by the big companies like Home Depot and these little people running around doing work and all. We're just getting stuck right and left as consumers, as victims of this storm, in all phases. There's not one thing that's helping us as far as prices and all. And people say, well, you got insurance money, but the prices are exceeding the insurance money that's been given people. I hear that daily, and because of that. All right, this is way off too, but in fact, about the same weekend. But I just want to put it on your calendar down in Panhandle. This is a good little tournament. They've been doing 11 years now, called Rock the Dock, and Panhandle didn't have much damage, so there's going to be a big tournament this year. That's on April the 26th, so just be aware of that. And also, this is another one, a public meeting, and this is different from the one I talked about last week, because this is going to be next Tuesday, the 15th. Friends of St. Joseph State Parks, they're going to have a meeting. It's going to be at Gulf Coast State College building in Port St. Joe, and it's going to be from 5:30 to 7:30. And that's different from the one where the Rangers going to come in also on later date. So that's just a different one. I thought that's a good. A lot of times in nature, you just have something a natural toilet. I just thought that was cool. All right, and one more. I got one more text from Mike McGraw on sand dunes. Back when Panama City did dune renourishment, I watched how quickly they rebuilt. They grew 2 to 3 feet a year at Bidawee Beach. Remember we were talking about this earlier. After 2 or 3 years, they grew wider once they got some height. As the dunes got several years old, so they grew wide and faster. They grew wider faster than tall, kind of like people. So thank you, Mike McGraw, for sending that. And they were talking about the sand dunes starting back at Mexico Beach and all, just sort of like that. And that's all good stuff too. Also, on another note, one of the viewers brought up a good message the other day. We had all these high fenced areas that we had some really quality bucks different people have had, and paid good money for them and using them as breeding stock. Well, when the storm came, the high fences got knocked down. Now some of these big bucks are out, and they're in rut, and they're getting up with some of the does and all, and that's nothing but a win-win situation. It's almost Of course, it's hard to tell the hunter not to shoot them, but it'd be cool to keep them out in the wild if they're going to stay in the wild and breed with all kinds of different bucks and all. You get that DNA and get that gene pool going out in the public. That would be really cool, but there's no way to control it. But this person that was hunting has sort of seen that kind of situation going on now. So keep that in mind. That's interesting. Okay, now let's go ahead and do our first drawing and talking about. Okay, we're already getting a good little seed plot started. We're going to be giving away some good stuff this year. I promise you. Once we get everything settled down from the storm and all, and we're going to have, it might be a spring sweepstakes or summer sweepstakes, but I've been stacking some stuff up and getting some stuff, and we're going to have some good sweepstakes given away, maybe some trips and all. So make sure you get entered. Okay, but right now, Tarpon Dog Seafood, man, they've been with us since day one, and they're just loyal people to our viewers, and we appreciate them. And the first winner for 2019 and the new pot is going to be Phyllis Brookins. Phyllis, you get the $20 gift certificate, and you and Steve will be grilling some tuna, I bet, this weekend. Also, sooner you get it in, the better odds you're going to have. You look, there's not that many right now, so you got good odds to get it in real quick. And this winner, the big red snapper, is going to be Lynn Richards from Southport. Lynn Haven and Southport are the winners. Okay, we're going to take our break. I got all this stuff scattered here. We got to take our break, and we'll come back with our famous Friday fishing report. Okay, welcome back, folks. We're glad you're with us this morning. We're getting to get back into normal things going on right now. Our famous Friday fishing report. Took some notes. I talked to some people this week, and well, let's just reflect right back to what we had early part of the show, talking on the far eastern end, talking the Carabel area down there with Sea Quarters and Captain Kim. Those trout have come back into there, and you're going to start hearing that they're coming back into there. But so keep that in mind. Now, on this report, two things I'll start off with. I have, I didn't drop a pen, did I? Okay. Two things. Now, I wrote down surf fishing, and you've seen some pictures this week of redfish being caught in the surf. Some nice redfish. So the surf is sort of cleaning up a little bit. And the second thing, though, is the pier is slow. We talked to the pier this week, and Carrie just said it was slow out there, but hopefully it's going to pick up soon. Let's go over to Choctawhatchee Bay, bridge fishing over there, the Mid-Bay Bridge and all. The bridge is closed. It's not going to be in traffic, but the big thing in Choctawhatchee Bay now is going to be the sheephead at the Mid-Bay Bridge. I promise you, this weekend there'll be some nice sheephead caught around those bridge pilings up around Freeport area. Those guys in Freeport, they're going to be fishing hard, I know. And so, fish around, scrape off those barnacles, fish with some fiddler crabs, little fiddler crabs, and then also, if you can't find those, get some peeled shrimp and be patient. And that's good. I'm going to see some good pictures next week of sheephead. So Choctawhatchee Bay looks pretty good. Let's go into the West Bay area. West Bay, I haven't heard a lot of reports, but keep in mind you got those two little creeks flowing into it, a lot of rain coming out of Crooked Creek, a lot of rain coming out of Burnt Mill Creek. So we've got a lot of fresh water over in West Bay on the northern end. We've got just a situation here, rainwater and all. And then this is saturated. This is low ground anyway. It's all saturated. So if you're going to fish West Bay, I'd hang around this area right in here and try to redfish off these 2 points right there. Man, I start pointing these out. I just want to get up and go right now. I'm serious. Let's go into the center part. Bridge fishing, they've caught some redfish again around Hathaway Bridge. It's going to be slow. These grass flats going to be slow right now, and it's still sort of dirty up in here. So there's not a lot of good fishing yet, not enough strong fishing. And Crooked Island Sound, again, Crooked Island Sound is going to be, it's closed off as far as launching your boat. Mexico Beach, I've seen 1 or 2 people fishing in Mexico Beach, just not a lot of reports from that Mexico Beach area. And the water still just really churned up. St. Joe Bay, let me see what I wrote down. Okay, on East Bay, now East Bay I did write down trout and redfish, but again, those creek areas have a lot of water. Incoming tide, the redfish are being, I wrote down incoming tide. All the redfish that I've seen, which has not been a lot, every one of them been caught on an incoming tide. And we really got some low tides in wintertime, so if you really want to look at your tide chart and fish those incoming tides this week. Okay, now, also the canal, I haven't got much reports about canal. But again, the canal right in here, I saw some guys fishing the other day. I went across here, and they were wade fishing. And see how you got deep water, and that water's coming out of here. So you can catch a little bit of everything when that water's coming out of there. So look at that too. Going on into, on the backside of St. Vincent, the best thing was January now. We haven't talked a lot about this. Number one fish in January right in here is whiting. You've seen some of the videos I've shot catching whiting right through this pass right here. Whiting all along in here. The whiting bite should be really good this weekend, next couple of weeks. In fact, that might be, we may just take off down there and go whiting fishing. I telling Gail the other day, I really need to get fishing, but right now in January I try to hit the rut and all, but it's been, it's been tough hunting. We talked about that too, but anyway, the oyster bars again also is going to be good back in here. Of course, the oyster bars, they hadn't been disturbed lately, so the oyster bars are going to be good way back in here. It's going to be interesting to see. You probably can't fish up in here, but I want to get on St. Vincent and see how much of that land is really just messed up there as far as from the trees and all. So anyway, as far as the overall fishing report, it's decent. I'm not going to sit here and say it's great fishing this weekend, but I can say it's decent considering our circumstances with the storm and all the fallen trees and all the fresh water. It's fairly decent, and the big thing about it, it's going to get better every weekend. I just have this optimistic outlook about it. It's just going to get a little bit better, and by March and April, it's just going to be, I'm going to be jumping up and down here, pointing places out. So, just hang in there and stay excited as I am, and be ready to go. And I think that's all the notes I wrote down. And so anyway, the big thing, you go out in a kayak, go out in your boat or whatever. I had a couple reports on flounder. A couple of flounder being caught too, but it's not nothing right, nothing right home about. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We've had a good week, got another good week coming up. I want you to have a good weekend and always do something outdoors, but most important, always do something good for your fellow man. There are a lot of people out there still hurting from this storm and need all kind of help. So if you can, try to get out and help them. You have a great weekend, enjoy yourself, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.